Hello everybody and welcome to another video. We are here today with Fruit Party. I took a look in my history here and realized we have not recorded Fruit Party since August. So it's been a while. Hopefully you're not sick of it, seeing it elsewhere, although I don't see it very many places anymore. But I do appreciate you coming and hanging out with me and watching this playthrough of it. If you do enjoy this sort of thing, go ahead and hit like, subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment down below. Let me know which games you want to see me play in the future. And all of that wonderful self-promotion that I am terrible at. We're going to see if we can spin our way into a bonus here. Of course, using our free gold coins, we're going to buy some bonuses. Hopefully we get some good wins. Normally I do a 20,000 coin spin in. I did 16,000 on this one, not for any reason other than the fact that I clicked the button one too many times and didn't realize it before I started recording. Also, keep note that I am currently in the middle of getting snowed on. So I'm recording this in the middle of the snowstorm that's blasting across the country here. Unless you're watching this at some point in the distant future, in which case you probably don't remember what I'm talking about. But I suspect if you're watching this, you're probably in the first few days, as most people are. So you understand what I'm talking about. Let's get into a 6,000 coin bonus here for Fruit Party. If you don't know how the game works, we're looking for fruit stat match, and we're looking for big multipliers on the fruits, 256x being the best. Strawberries are the top fruit, so we're looking for 256x on as many strawberries as possible. It's very unlikely that it would happen, but that's the goal. I'm also recording this on a Sunday. It is the Sunday before classes start back up. So you'll start hearing a little bit more stress in my voice for the next 16 weeks or so as I go through my next set of two terms of classes here. I don't think they're going to be terribly difficult. They are classes that I enjoy for the most part. Very much looking forward to the classes in March and April, because I get to do a cryptology class and I love that kind of thing. So I'm going to enjoy that class, I believe, unless they teach it in a terrible way. But I like, breaking codes, doing cryptograms, things like that growing up, and still do now. So I expect I'm going to enjoy that class quite a bit. Other than that, it's just a lot of reading and memorizing and regurgitating, which is pretty much just college in a nutshell. Memorize stuff, say it back to them in a different way, add a couple of citations at the end. Usually the professors are pretty happy. Honestly, it's not that hard, and I wish I had known that 20 plus years ago when I went the first time. Things would probably have gone a lot differently. The downside, though, is I wouldn't be here talking to you, probably. So I'm glad that I ended up where I did, and all of the experiences made me who I am, which I think pretty darn nice guy. Nice 64x there. Unfortunately, it was on hearts, which is a terrible symbol. Here we go. There's some good multipliers out there. That is enough to at least get us into a profit. 6,132 so far. 2 spins left to go. Again, nice multipliers. Shame they're not on better symbols. Oranges are better symbols. Look at that. The 16x paid more than the 64x. Final spin coming up. And the final spin isn't doing much. We got a couple of multipliers up on the apples there, but we finished at 89.22, which is definitely more than 6,000. So go ahead and run that one back. Also, we can re-trigger in this game, but if it happens, jump up and down and then go buy a lottery ticket, because it is exceedingly rare that we see that. There's a 64x again, but on hearts. We need the multipliers on really good symbols, the premium symbols, the ones that look like fruit. It's Fruit Party, and heart is not a fruit, despite what people may tell you in other cultures. Eating the fruit of the heart of an animal is a delicacy in some places, but it's not a fruit. I'm a little loopy right now, so if I don't make any sense, I apologize. I just got off a very long call with a friend of mine. We got some weird spots in the conversation, so my brain's a little flip-flopped around. But I figured I'm going to be busy coming up, so I wanted to talk to him while I had the chance. And he was actually, he and his wife and other members of their family were actually down in New Orleans, right in that area where that attack happened. So I wanted to talk to them about that. I mean, obviously they got back safe. The whole family did. Good. I'm glad they all got home safely. They were in that area though, I guess, like just before that happened, like an hour or half an hour or so before that whole thing happened. So I'm glad they got out. I'm sure they're also glad they got out beforehand. Obviously a terrible tragedy of what happened, but selfishly, I'm glad that people that I know are safe. All right, we did hit the Apple's house. Fingers crossed, but I didn't want to say anything. They weren't a great multiplier, but better than leaving them on the table. Also, don't leave apples on a table. They go bad pretty quickly. Leave them out in fresh air and forget about them. It's a bad time. You don't want to have a bad time, not with apples. Although at least with this, I do enjoy the Granny Smith apples because I enjoy the tartness. Almost got back to where we started there. So I enjoy the tartness of a Granny Smith apple. So I'm glad to see that's at least the one they chose for the graphics here in the game. This is going terribly, by the way. We had that one halfway decent win, and then pretty much everything else has been a catastrophic loss. The last one was like 75% back, which isn't catastrophic, but still not good. So fingers crossed one of these turns around sometime soon. Really use a win here. This game does sometimes tend to drop in like chunks that are all the same. Hey, there's a first 256x on plums. That was nice. Chunks that are all the same symbols, and then they come down in layers, so they tumble real easily. We got a 256x just there. Still wasn't able to make a profit until we got to this spin, where we had that nice 64x on the oranges. We're down to 85.74 with 3 spins left. Really love to see that momentum continue here. It's not a huge profit. It's a profit. We could definitely use more. And last spin is a dead spin. 87.66 though. Our second profit of the video, if I'm not mistaken. Very similar to the first one where it's in the 8,000 range. So it keeps us afloat at least for the next buy, which is good. Starting off with a connection and multipliers on it. So that is a hopeful sign. I like to believe that, I guess. I don't really know. Of course, no one knows what the algorithm's doing in the background except for the people that created the game, and they probably don't actually know either. Once they launch it out into the world, they don't have any control over it. Really hoping for better multipliers in all those. Good that we got the tumbles. I'll take 1266, but definitely could have used an extra like 4x in each one of those. Would have made a world of difference. I am trying to convince a friend of mine to join me on Discord and let him tell me what game to play. And we'll just sort of give him control of the video. He knows nothing about the games. He doesn't play on the site, doesn't really gamble. But I thought it would be fun to have him on and just sort of talk to him while we go through. Just a little something different for me, a little something different for you all. Not something I can get him to do in every video. So if you do enjoy when it happens, let me know, and I can get him to come back from time to time, but it's not going to be a constant thing. Like, he's not going to be a second person in the videos on a constant basis. But I'm sure I can get him to join us from time to time. So hopefully you guys enjoy listening to him. He's a relatively interesting guy. I will give him that. I've known him for, ballpark, like 20 years. Used to work with him, and maybe we became friends through like a shared tragedy of working at the same place. A lot of people do, but after 20 years, and I haven't worked with him for at least the last 10 plus, and I still talk to him 3 to 4 times a week. So clearly there's something there that keeps us in contact. And we don't really even talk about the times we worked together that much. We reference it quite often in different ways, but never like specifically, hey, remember about this time? You remember this guy? It's very rare that we have that conversation. It's always about stuff that's going on now and how relevant things are happening. Nice to have a friend like that where you're not just spending your whole conversation reminiscing because you can't think about what to talk about for things that are going on now, which is an unfortunate thing I find. So some people that I know that, I mean, it's hard to stay in contact sometimes. You know, life gets in the way. And those oranges would have been real nice for a multiplier to drop in there. That 75 would have been great if we had a 256x multiplier on it. Let's do one more 6,000, then we'll finish off with the big buy at the end of the video here. We will bid Fruit Party adieu for what looks like probably another 4 to 5 months, the way it's treating us today. But at least, you know, you get a little bit of an update what's going on with me. You know, school, work, snow. Waiting to see if I have to go into work tomorrow morning and not knowing. Unfortunately, the place that I go to in the morning to work doesn't open until I've already left my house to get there. And there's no one in the building before I leave the house. So, fingers crossed, somebody knows ahead of time whether or not they're even open, and I should bother going into work. Because I don't want to show up for no reason at all. There's not going to be anyone there for me to pick up my product to deliver. I know we've only got 2 deliveries. That was a terrible game at 195. Let's go ahead and just do an all-in 20,000 here. Just for the fun of it. We'll just call this one a total loss. Probably. Yeah, I've only got two places to deliver to tomorrow. So I think if they don't get them, it's not going to be the end of the world. And by the fact that we're supposed to have like 6 to 11 inches of snow in the morning and some pretty bad winds and some ice, I don't know how comfortable I would be driving the truck to go make my deliveries. So I guess we'll find out tomorrow, and I'll let you know in the next video what happens. But I'm banking on probably going to be at work tomorrow. That feels like the most likely outcome. Last couple of spins coming up here. Appreciate y'all listening to me rambling. Again, if you enjoy this sort of thing, I don't do this all the time. I'm just sort of, I'm in like go mode for some reason. My brain is on hyper speed. Normally I'm a little bit more laid back, a little bit more calm. But if you enjoy this sort of video, again, hit the like, subscribe button down. It really does help out. 12,372 at the end. Not great considering we started with 45, but we've had some pretty good games recently, so it's okay. I appreciate you all coming. I had a good time. I hope you did. I'll see you in the next one.